There we are. Let me just set up my chat really quick. Let's see. Yeah, I wish I could do this ahead of time, but unless it's a premiere video, I just can't. Just got to type into the computer. If you're watching on the replay, fast forward to the first minute or two. Okay, I started my goal. Hey, Jewel Giacona. Let me just set up my chat. Hey, Jay. Let me turn off my notifications on my phone, on my screen. Set up my messages to see all. You know, we're going to talk about that in a few, Kathy. Yeah, I kind of spoiled it in the title and the thumbnail, didn't I? It's a head shaker. Hey, Jane. Hey, Hobble One. Read it close. Oh, you're new. Welcome in, Mary. I hope you are subscribed to my channel, and be sure to go to my playlist and catch up on the Nancy Guthrie case if that's why you are here. Appreciate you. I could always use subscribers. This channel is more than just true crime. This is just an about me channel since I survived breast cancer, but lately I've been doing a series on Nancy Guthrie since February 2nd, so be sure to check that out. Yeah, I'm at 35:58 right now. I always like to check at the start of the show where I'm at. Yeah, I had to rush over to the business box today because I thought they were closing for the holiday early. And I knew I had a gift from my Amazon wish list, which is just mind-bending. I'll show you that in a minute. Just want to get some people in here. I'm just like, I'm scratching my head so much that I'm not even sure I believe what I just heard. I don't like to say things on here unless they're 100% verified. You know how it is. Just the facts, ma'am, just the facts. The who, what, when, where, why, and how. No clickbaity titles, no clickbaity thumbnails. 15 people in the room. I think a lot of people are getting ready to start their holiday today. So I don't expect many people here. This won't be too long, like for real. I'm just going to get straight to the point once we get a few more people in here. If you're watching on the replay, you might want to fast forward through the first couple of minutes. 18 people in the room. I guess I'll just get started. Yes. The who, what, when, where, why, and how. My name is April Davis. I'm April Davis, PI, actually. And I'm a licensed California private investigator, mostly retired. I've been reporting on the Nancy Guthrie case since February the 2nd of 2026. And today, I'll have to check my thumbnail, but I think it's day number 152. Like, mind-bending. We're already at 5 months and 2 days now. Like, I can't believe this. I would have never guessed this if you rewound back to February till now. I would have never guessed what was going to happen today. I'm absolutely mind blown because somebody who has an extensive criminal history, the only person to be charged thus far connected to the Nancy Guthrie case, just made an appearance this morning in federal court. I guess it was federal court. I wasn't there. Can somebody tell me? But went to court today in Arizona and pleaded guilty to sending the false ransom text and making phone calls or a call. I don't know if it was a single call or more than one. I wasn't there. But this person, from what I'm hearing, you guys might want to correct me if I'm wrong. Wow, 77 people in the house. I've only got 5 thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up button, people, and make sure you subscribe. I am hearing, and I heard this from another YouTuber, although I haven't seen the videos yet. I have heard that he was sentenced to probation and ordered immediately, like meaning today, into a rehab facility. This is someone who has an extensive criminal history. This guy's a nice way of putting it, this guy's a dirtbag. This guy's a total dirtbag to society. Yeah, Derrick. Maybe you're listening from rehab. Did they give you, a phone? Probably not. You're a scumbag, Derrick Callella. He is the only person to be charged thus far that we know of in the Nancy Guthrie case for sending extortion, basically. I guess he was just convicted of sending text threats. I'd have to read the charges or what he was actually convicted of. But, everybody knows who he is if you're following this case, unless you're living under a rock. You know who Derrick Callella, also known as Derrick Callella, depending on if you want to do the Spanish or the English pronunciation. This is the guy from Hawthorne, from LA County. This is the guy who, as soon as the FBI knocked on his door, basically put his hands out and said, "Yep, take me away. I'm guilty." Scumbag. What's going on in Tucson? And can somebody correct me? Because I was told that his case was in federal court in Santa Ana. It was transferred to the courthouse in Tucson. What is going on in Tucson? How does somebody who did something like this, so hideous, that's attached to one of the biggest cases in the history of our nation, do something scummy like this? And remember, he has ties to people who have ties with Annie and Tommaso. Just saying. There's a connection there. And remember, everybody on my channel is innocent until proven guilty. But this guy was convicted. He pled guilty, he was convicted, and he got probation and rehab. I wouldn't have given him rehab. I would have sent him to prison immediately. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You're going straight to jail, buddy. What is going on in the United States of America that something like this could happen? No, he did not send emails, Jay. He sent the text ransoms to Annie and Tommaso's private cell numbers, which he seemed to have. Taking somebody out. Rodney, welcome in. They wasted too much taxpayers' dollars for zero. Gotta take out another person. What is it? I just got started. Thank you, Leanne. Thanks for coming. That blows my mind, says Nanette. That's what blows my mind. They fly him over to Tucson. Oh, thank you for the jewel. Let me see who sent that. Let me get to that in just a second. Oh, probation was for 5 years, says Karen. Okay, thank you for letting me know. This sentence is typical. Hello, Bruce. Uh, 42 years in the criminal justice system, Salat. I'm taking you out for that. Yeah, I do hope he's listening. Scumbag. Derrick Callella. Mary. Yes, I think he knows something. Using being drug related for his excuse. Oh, thank you. It was Rights Game Foul sent the star. Thank you. Hey, Philip from Australia, my friend. Welcome in. That's what I'm hearing, Bruce. That's what I'm hearing. It was announced. I saw it or read about it from 857 Tucson. I have not actually seen any videos on it yet. I know a lot of the on-the-ground, boots-on-the-ground YouTubers were live today, earlier in the day, to talk about it. Apparently, there was no cameras or video allowed in the courtroom. Saraf! Oh my God! I'll get right back to the chat. Let me just. I was thinking about you, my dear. Where have you been, my friend? Oh, let me bring up my screen so I can see it on the. Oh my God. Saraf. Oh my gosh. There's another one. I'll get back to the chat. Everybody, this is our friend from Israel. I got to get a new horn just for Saraf. Oh my gosh. Just hold on, everybody. I'm still here. Oh my God, my friend. How have you been doing? Let everybody in the chat know. One more. There we go. The cat's going, what's going on? She's even here now. She's like, what's going on? What's going on? Oh my God. One more. Oh my God. Be kind, Steve. That's not true. Let me go back. Thank you so much. Let me know, where have you been? I've already reached my goal, but feel free to send. We just started over again yesterday for the month. So, whatever I see today, I won't be seeing it till the end of August, but let's get it up there. And thank you to those that sent, the person that sent the penny jewel. Thank you. Let me go back. Hey, Kinsley, welcome in. One of our Canadian friends. We got Australia and Canada. Any other countries in here besides the U.S., Canada, and Australia? Let me know. Well, Israel, obviously. Saraf. Let me say that again. United States, Canada, Australia, and Israel are in here. This is amazing, everybody. He claims he got the on internet phone. No? Okay, I don't know what you're saying. There might be a typo there. Jay says Callella wanted attention and to be taken care of in prison. He is probably a guy that prefers prison to work. Did not get his way. He stated he was on drugs, says Mary. You still you do the crime, you got to do the time. I did feel bad for his parents. They seem nice. Yeah, I don't know anything about them. He was on resin. What does that mean? Were you the spammer yesterday, Steve? Yeah, I think you were. You were spamming the chat yesterday, so I'm just going to take you out. He's probably in on the whole thing, just saying, says Wright's Game Foul. Well, he definitely knows a lot of the players, because remember, Tucson, that's only 20 minutes from Tucson, seems like a very small town, even though he lives in Hawthorne. Remember, the band connections. Nanette, he pleads guilty to a lesser charge, and we get to pay for his rehab. I don't know exactly what he pled as far as what the final charges were. I'll have to look that up on the court. Is it federal court or state court? Because originally he went to federal court in Santa Ana, and his case was transferred to Tucson. Nanette says federal court, Bruce. I thought so, because that's a federal crime. Saraf throwing out those bills. I know. I've missed you, Saraf. What have you been up to? Please let the chat know. We missed you. Oh, and let me, everybody give him a thumbs up on all of the super chats. And I'm going to heart them on the desktop because, remember a few weeks ago, I tried to heart one on my phone screen and it disappeared. And everybody was like, what happened? It just disappeared. Oh my God, there's another one. I didn't see that one. Hold on. Glad to be back. I'm fine. Thanks. Stay safe, dear. April P. I have lots of updates to catch up with. Yes, you do. A lot has happened, Saraf. If you're still here, a lot has happened in the last week. Like starting last Thursday or Friday. Like this whole case is just blown up. I've had to do multiple videos per day at times. Yes, Bruce, he is my biggest channel supporter, I have to say. Oh, you're in the Philippines, Bruce? I didn't know that. Welcome in. Wow. So now we have the U.S., Canada, Australia, Israel, and the Philippines in with 142 people watching. I've only got 28 thumbs up. Can you guys get my thumbs up? And you know what? Because we have so many people in here, you guys want to stay here until, just hold on, chat. I'll get to you. Because I have more than 100 people in the room right now, and it just rolled over to a new month. How many people, let me know in the chat. Give me a yes if you'd like this. I can hand out some gift memberships. Wright's Game of Fowls in North Carolina. Let me know. Welcome in from the Philippines, my friend. He said he got numbers. Oh, he got their phone numbers on the internet. Is that what he said? Oh, okay. Oh, Save America, we have to take you out. Oh. What? Oh, gosh. He did look up the phone numbers on the internet. Federal crimes have lighter sentences than other crimes. Perplexing for sure. Let's see. Hey, Edward Curtis, welcome in. Hello, July. Hello, Jacqueline. Well, it's up to YouTube as to who gets picked. Let me just make sure that I took out the trolls. I can't believe this. Oh, my God. Oh, thank you for coming back, Saraf. I know you remember before. Thank you. Are you telling me he got A&T's number on the internet? Well, that's what he apparently said. But, you know, criminals have a tendency to lie. Because criminals are stupid scumbags. You know, I've spent my whole life fighting for justice. I am, you know, the redheaded version of, well, I'm Batgirl. That was my nickname in my career. Not necessarily lighter sentences, just more cush in federal. Okay, I still got 130 or 103. Give me some more thumbs up because I might just be tempted since we're starting a new month. Now, I only have so many of these a month to hand out. Do I have any? It's asking me to purchase them. Well, I'm not going to purchase any. They give me so many per month, and I was trying to give them out over the weekend because I had a ton of people in my room. Okay. Are we ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's see how she spins. We're spinning the random generator here. And Wright's Game Foul, Bruce Davis, Christy8387, Goomba Gary, haven't seen you before, Case File 365. You guys just received the 5 free memberships. They'll last a month. And then at the end of that month, I guess YouTube will send you an email if you want to actually become a paid member. So you guys that have the new memberships, you are entitled, anybody that's a member is entitled to use the custom emojis. Because of the amount of members I have now, it's been growing the last month. I am up to 10 custom emojis. Yeah, last time you were here, Saraf, I only had 4. Now I have 10 custom emojis. And as I gain more members, I'm able to add. Oh, Saraf, you put the detective up there. Bruce Davis put the palm tree. Jane is congratulating everybody that just won a membership. Bruce Davis put the movie camera up. I love that one, even though it's hard to see on the screen. Hey, happy, or not happy, Cat Lady Grandma. Welcome back. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, I appreciate everybody that put up the emojis. Oh, there's little Kelsa kitty. The YouTube symbol, which I can't see that well on my screen. I can see the 2 part, but I can't really see the U part just because my hair is blocking it. Jacqueline says, congrats, everybody. So yeah, everybody got 109 people in the house. That's pretty good for a Thursday afternoon on the early holiday weekend here. Everybody, I've only got 37 thumbs up though. I hope you guys are subscribing because even though I don't get paid for subs, it shows YouTube that I'm gaining. Now I'm up to 3560. Gained only 2 in this whole time I've been on the air, which has been 21 minutes. I got 119 people in the room and only 2 people subscribed. Either all of you guys are already subscribed or you're not getting the message. If you subscribe and you click the little bell icon, you'll get notified whenever I go live. Oh, thanks for putting up those emojis, Bruce. There's little Amelia Kensley Bunny, Kelsa Kitty, the happy emoji face, the YouTube, the baseball, and we have an early Halloween one because in LA, as of July 5th, we'll go from summer things in the stores to Halloween stuff. Saraf! I could have used you on the 30th, Saraf, when it was my last day for June. I'm just kidding. Do whatever you can do, Saraf. You've done more than anybody else on this channel. I appreciate everybody. You have subbed. You are a sub. Okay. Thank you, Bruce. Saraf. Oh, I have missed you, man. I mean, I want to know how you're doing. Send me an email, aprildavispi@gmail. Let me know what's going on. Let me get back to my screen here so I can give him another heart on that. Everybody, listen to Saraf. He says chat, like, and subscribe. It really helps the algorithm. Oh, you've done so much for me. I even got my PI license renewal early, Saraf. It already came in the mail. I was just like, whew, that's a big relief. Rights Game Foul says, I'm subscribed and always hit the like button when I'm on your live stream. Thank you, Rights. And where are you coming in from, Rights? Yeah, hopefully I will hear from you, Saraf. Yeah, it's, the last month I've had more viewership than I've ever had, but the June totals were actually substantially down from the April and the May totals. I did expect April to be a little high because I had my birthday. They carried over the last 4 or 5 days of March. They had a balance that they owed me from the past that they just like stole for almost 2 years. So I knew that April would be pretty good. May was a little bit lower, but I was still very pleased. And then June, even though I have more viewership than ever and I have more subscribers than ever, the numbers tanked. And I'm like, something's going backwards. I'm not sure why that is yet. 10 out of 10 already. I know. And I'm glad that Sarop renewed the membership because that reminded me that now that the clock switched over to July, the calendar switched over. If I had 100 or more people, I was going to give away the memberships. So it'll probably be at least a few more weeks because, July is a 31-day month. So, and I can only do that twice in a month. More goals needed. Oh, okay, Jay. Hold on. Let me fix this. I always set it to the lowest possible thing to accept all colors. Nobody nobody has to do this, but I'm just gonna. I think I need a new hype horn. When I was briefly monetized in the past, I bought this little button that looked like this, but it was like, it had like animal sounds, and there was like a donkey on it. And I hit it. Oh, thank you for the flower, Connie. Welcome in. I hit the button one time, not even on YouTube, just to test it out of the box, and my rabbit went berserk. Scared, almost had a heart attack and died. And rabbits can easily have a heart attack. And so I obviously had to send that button back. If you guys have pets, don't ever get one of these buttons that has a donkey sound. Robert, you're not with the rest of us today. You're not on the train. We're taking you out. See ya. Leanne, I heard other YouTube creators with a similar concern. One creator's channel started about 10 years ago. She got 2 copyright strikes, one right after the other. I've never received a copyright strike, Leanne, but I'm very careful. So Rob. April PI deserves all the love for her work. Thank you so much, my friend. Let me get the chat caught up on the screen on the computer. Yeah. Thank you so much. Everybody give Saroff another thumbs up. Yeah, so you know what? The feds are usually tough. And the feds, they don't even try to prosecute unless they got you dead to right. And I had heard a rumor earlier last week that he was going to change his plea. And everybody thought, oh, something big's going to happen today because he's connected and, he's going to confess in court. And I was like, no, he's not. If he is connected to this crime in any other way than what he's been charged for, he's going to keep his mouth shut. Even if they have to super glue his mouth shut, he's not going to be an idiot and say a word. His lawyer's going to say, just say you're guilty and here you go. Thank you very much. And then he gets probation? Like, huh? What? Are you serious? I mean, you know that his ransom text, took away manpower that was trying to find Nancy, back when they were actually looking for her earlier in this case. You know how much that cost in time and salaries and court costs and taxes and flying them from California to Arizona. I mean, and he gets rehab and probation? Like, are you kidding me? Betha sent me the flower. Thank you. We are up to 32 cents in jewels today. She said that she was very careful as well. Who said? Nanette. He did change his plea to guilty, and he says he has no idea about the case. Oh, did he say that? See, I heard that there was no cameras or video allowed, so I'm going to need to catch up on somebody who was actually in there to see what he said. Probation for information at Nancy criminal trial, most likely. He has sentencing in September, and he will have to remain in lockdown rehab until then. Well, I heard today, Connie, that he was sentenced to probation. 5 years probation and rehab. Is there something else coming down the pike? Like what? This is what I was hearing, and I just that's why I'm asking my audience. Do you guys know more than what I've heard? Because that doesn't make any sense to me that somebody would commit that type of hideous crime, and it's a federal crime, and feds are tough, and you would only get 5 years probation? Connie says he has sentencing in September. Why am I hearing that he got 5 years of probation and rehab? The creator who got the YouTube strikes. I don't know what we're talking about. She said that she was very careful as well. Yeah, I never got any strikes. I did get demonetized, but I never had a strike. And all of my videos that I uploaded passed all the checks. Never had a copyright strike. But YouTube can just say, you know what, you're gone. And you're gone. And then I got upset about it, and I deleted a third of my channel, and then I lost all my watch hours, and I'm like, oops. Well, how am I going to requalify? Even though I could requalify in 90 days, I didn't have my watch hours, but nope, never got a strike. Okay, so Wright's game foul, and Connie says 5 years of probation and rehab. So then what is the sentencing about in September? If today, not only did he plead guilty, but he was sentenced to 5 years probation and rehab. Welcome back, James, and go join your friends in timeout. I said yesterday, James, I wish, because then I'd be a multimillionaire. And I'd be much better at YouTube than April Davis, you know? Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm going to have to study up on this because I don't like to come onto my channel and not be 100% accurate and then have to do another video or, have to pen something in the comments saying that, hey, I made a mistake. But this is what I was hearing, that he pled guilty, he didn't change his plea, and that he was sentenced today to 5 years probation and immediately was carted off to rehab, like a court-ordered rehab. Not like, hey, you need to go sign up for rehab within, 30 days. Like, no, that was it. Is there something else coming down the pike? Yeah, I need to know more because I'm in disbelief right now. We're talking about the sentencing of Derrick Callella in the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping case. That's just like, I want to make absolutely sure. He has 2 counts, and I'm not clear if it's combined or 5 years probation for each. Yeah, because he did it to Annie and Tommaso. Hey, Sassy Granny. And everybody, speaking of Sassy Granny, let me just take a time out here. These are in the chargers right now. I'm going to do some testing later this evening. I have wanted these for so long. These are the Rode Wi-Fi mics. They even come with windshields. They can even operate via app without the transmitter. I am absolutely mind blown. Love you, Sassy Granny. This is one of the most useful things that anybody has ever bought for me here. Thank you. Everybody give Sassy Granny, give her hugs and smiles and happy emojis. Jane Rice says, expect the unexpected. I know. I'm just like, I'm not like, I feel like this isn't real, like I'm in a dream or something, and this isn't like, am I going to wake up and realize, oh, I just woke up and I haven't even gone on YouTube yet, and this is all a dream? Because I can't really comprehend that somebody does a crime like that and with an extensive criminal history and gets probation. Rehab, fine, but probation, I don't understand. Okay, Wright's Game Foul says, I just Googled it. Google says he received 10 years probation and has to report to a residential rehab facility. Well, Patty, go join your friends in timeout. Nanette says, thank you so much, Sassy Granny. You've been such a help. You have been, everybody that's contributed. Everything from the super chats, the occasional super thanks, which I very rarely see, but I've had a few. The jewels that convert to the rubies, people that have, liked the videos, watched the videos, subscribed. People, there's been some that have sent privately to me, bought the coffees, sent the donations. It's incredible. I would have never expected that. And you know what? We will have a party soon if I can get the subscribership up to 4,000. And I'm already at 3,562. So, wow. 438 subs away from my next goal. Thank you. Jay says, Derrick has info and is being protected in rehab facility for as long as possible. until they can put him up somewhere else. He is a small piece of the 500-piece puzzle. Interesting comment, Jay. Leanne Rayner, I listened to your conversation with the Juice. He mentioning power of attorney. He meant to say Pima County Attorney's Office. Yes, I got that. Because I didn't know who he was talking about. But I did look her up, this Laura Conover. And from what I'm hearing, she's like in cahoots with nanos or something. And I'm like, well, that's disturbing. That's disturbing for anybody that's involved in a case that's in Pima County. You know, like I hadn't heard that name before. But yeah, I knew what he meant. I didn't know who he was talking about. And then he kept saying power of attorney. And then his audience, I guess, corrected him in the chat. But I couldn't see the chat when I was on because I had to mute everything. And I was on my phone. So I couldn't see the chat on that until after I got off the air. And that was like, I guess we had about a 30-minute phone call. But thank you for listening, Leanne. Yeah, you haven't seen that. It's under my video tab. And it's not the whole like 3-4 hour show. It's just the audio version of him and I. And he obviously he gave me permission, and he's just, I can't say enough good things about the Juice. If you guys are not subscribed to him, make sure you're following his YouTube channel. But thank you, Leanne. Did you listen to it on his channel, or did you listen to it like later on my channel? 3 bad apples at the top in that office. That's what I'm hearing, Leanne. And that's very, very disturbing. That's very disturbing. Especially since, you know, as I've said before, Tucson is only 20 minutes from Tucson. And it seems like almost everybody that lives there is connected somehow. At least all the Yahoos, characters, bad actors in this case are connected through the 6 degrees of separation. And that will include, you know, Derrick, who lives in Los Angeles County. He's even connected through the 6 degrees of separation to all the characters that are in this case. If you guys haven't seen my suspect video, go see it. And then make sure you read the comments, because I had to update something about a date that's in that video, because that was months ago, but it's still worth listening to. Mostly Dallas Helicopters sent the star. Thank you, my friend. Welcome back. Yeah, well, we've had Canada in the chat today, and Israel, and Australia, and where else did we have? Somebody else came in from somewhere else. It's only about 20 minutes. Listen to it on your channel. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Mostly Dallas Helicopters. Yeah, you missed it earlier. I threw out some, because we're in July now. I had a few more free channel memberships to throw out. We had over 100 people here, so it was like, what a good time to send it out. Wendy, are you in Tucson? Jane Rice says, #justice for Nancy. Exactly. And how does what happened today, probation and rehab, how does that affect why we're all here? And that is the actual kidnapping, disappearance, and probably unaliving of Miss Nancy. How does today's federal trial for Derrick Callella affect this case while he's sitting in rehab instead of the slammer? I still gotta wonder if there's some back end deal that's happened here. I just can't believe that the feds would give him a free ride to rehab and probation, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 1,000 years. That's very hard for me to believe, unless there could be possibly something more to this that we just don't know yet. Oh, hey, Christy. Wendy says yes. Christy says, hello, didn't know you were live, just joined. I was just watching your video with the Juice. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm still slacking on the videos, because I've been so busy with the lives, but it seems like I'm having more success with the vertical lives by far than I'm having with just the videos. Maybe that's why the income from the channel has been going down, even though the viewership and the subscribers going up. Um, Rights game foul. Our justice system lets the American people down every day. I agree, and I've been in this system, as a crime fighter, uh, for 42 years. Well, 35 years full time. Now I'm mostly retired, but occasionally I, you know, do a few things. But I'm just busy, you know, handling all the medical stuff. Uh, oh, and you know what? I have an interesting announcement too. This is totally off topic from Nancy, but it is to do with true crime, and it is to do with something we've talked about in the past. I found this very interesting. There is a series that was supposed to debut on Paramount Plus, and before it ever went on the air, it has now been bought by Netflix, and it's supposed to air this winter. And it's a series actually. Like, I don't know if it's a docu-series or a true crime series, but it's called The Murder of JonBenet Ramsey. I'd never even heard about it. I don't watch all these movies, docu-series. I've read a few books about the case, but I've never got into the movies because I kind of think like, well, this case hasn't been solved yet, and I don't like to watch the clickbaity stuff because most of that stuff just puts out misinformation. But my neighbor, for real people, and don't you guys go stalking her, but my next door neighbor is starring in the series as Patsy Ramsey, and that would be Melissa McCarthy. Absolutely mind-bending. Think about that. Melissa McCarthy as Patsy Ramsey, JonBenet's mother, coming out sometime this winter. They didn't give a date yet, but it has been purchased from Netflix, which I thought was odd, considering that it was a Paramount Plus project, and before it even airs, it's already gone to a different network. So I'm not sure what that's about. Uh, but I think that'll be interesting. Jay, more info will come out through other rehabbers, and FBI has more info than we know. Jay, I think you've hit the nail right on the head because I am in disbelief. I wondered, did somebody report this wrong? Like rehab and probation? Or is there some kind of something's going on the back end that we don't know about? I'm floored at this. I know I don't watch the movies, Jay, but I might watch this one on Netflix. I might subscribe temporarily, like I did for my neighbor's granddaughter, who's now, by the way, she's a big star. They've already renewed that series. I think she's going to be nominated for an Emmy. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. She's already going to star in a horror movie. This was a little girl that occasionally visits over here, and I know her grandmother, and I signed up to Netflix again just temporarily to see her series, and she just killed it. And she's become a sensation overnight. But it looks like I'm going to have to sign up again because her series is coming back. I don't know when, but it has been picked up. And I do want to see my neighbor, Melissa, in this series about JonBenet Ramsey. I just do. MV, welcome back. Hi, awesome PI Davis and fans. Great discussion as usual. Yeah, I'm just I can't even think of the words right now. Like I feel like this is surreal that Derrick Callella got probation and rehab. He got rehab and YouTubers got cited and jailed. Like, oh boy. Now, Damien apparently, is he 857 Tucson, got his citation thrown out. I heard that, was it yesterday or the day before, that Alex who I don't watch him, but I know who he is, the big tattooed guy, that his felony charges were thrown out, but yet he still has to go to court on the first misdemeanor charge. And I think that had something to do with the alleged urination situation. Don't want to get too gross, too much information here. I didn't hear anything about poor DeJuice, who, had his foot on the concrete. That's just sickening to me. It doesn't seem right if Alex, who resisted arrest and got charged with a felony, gets those charges reduced or thrown out, but yet DeJuice, who did nothing wrong and had his foot on the pavement, could be convicted. Like, makes no sense. Okay, Christy says Alex had one thrown out and another pending for the end of the month. Yeah, and I think it was that first charge about the urination when he was in the P10 or something, which is, uncalled for. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of his. I'm not, against him. I appreciate all the YouTubers and all the boots on the ground that are out there, 12 hours a day sitting in that desert heat, but, be respectful at least, as most have been. So, yeah. But now we hear that, this is federal crimes. Federal crimes are tough. I know you go to country club prisons, like when you go to prison, but because they're federal pins, but like, if he needs to go to rehab, send him to rehab, but, no time? Like, huh? What? And this is right in the middle of the Nancy Guthrie case, early on in the investigation, when there's like 50,000 tips coming in, and the manpower, they're sending additional agents from other offices as far as the FBI, and there's all this overtime and double time, and, it was crazy. And then they got to, fly to LA and go hook somebody up for that. And he's got an extensive criminal history, and he gets probation. Like, what's going on? I don't understand. Oh, I know, Christy. I believe that Alex didn't pee, but apparently that's the charge that he still has to go to court on. But yet, resisting arrest from the cops, and you saw how violent that got on both ends, and that's been let go. Like, what? Yeah, he was playing and making noises. I remember that, and I think that's disrespectful. But I don't think he actually urinated. Yes, they went to his home, handcuffed him, and took him to jail. I know. And then when he was told not to go back out there, he did. And, everybody saw what happened here. Buzz Graff, move on. Yeah, I think you're going to be moving on, Buzz. Go join the rest of your friends. Yes. Nanette says, I shake my head because they arrest and jail streamers in D.C. Derrick Callella gets probation and rehab. Saraf. I didn't know you were still here, my friend. But if we had jaywalked, we'd be in jail for months. I think so. Remember, DeJuice was on the easement. Yeah, I don't think he did urinate at all. Thank you, Saraf. Let me get back to the correct screen here on my desktop. There's another one. Like I said, we might have to buy a new button just for Saraf. My bunny's going, what are you doing? At least it's not the donkey one, or she would have collapsed and died by now. Cozy Sunflower Mom, there's never true justice here on earth, in my opinion. You know what? I have to agree with you today, Cozy. Did I lose track? There's one more for Saraf. Thank you, my friend. MVMV. Go join the rest of your friends in timeout. Exactly. Hey, Suzanne. We must reach the goal, fellas. Thank you. Nanette, supposedly the sound effects were done by a news channel. Yes, they did alter that video, KVOA. Yes, they did. They even put cursing in by DeJuice, and it was like, he never curses. I've cursed more than he has. I've never heard him say a bad word. You have to think who is more useful. I'm losing track. Syrup, I'm losing track. Hello, Rose Margaret. Did I give you enough hype horn, Syrup? Oh my God. This is ridiculous. Thank you. Thank you so much. Mama sees all. Welcome in. That's what gets me with Juice. They never told him not to come back when they gave him the first notice. Therefore, it was a complete setup. Absolutely. Syrup, Holly Locke sent a girl power. Appreciate that. I need some girl power right now. Slick Nick just joined. Quick update. Yeah, Derrick Callella got apparently 5 years of probation and rehab. And he's a scumbag. Christy Hury, Juice should have been the first case thrown out. Absolutely. He did nothing wrong. Absolutely. Such a great guy. He is a great guy. Wonderful human being. And very respectful. You know, you would never see DeJuice in a pee tent jumping up and down in the street. I mean, he did that, you know. He didn't pee, but he did that. Christy, Juice should have been, yeah, okay. Nanette, I listen to Troy daily as I have insomnia and he prays at the start of his lives and doesn't cuss at all. I know. And I've actually gained a new friend through this. We've become friends. Sarah, you must reach the goal. Rose says, I agree, Christy. And View, he was so calm and respectful for sure. Yes, he is. Sarah! Don't come back should have been on the arrest paperwork. I've lost, I don't even know how many, Sarah. We'll have to use some of these once I get paid for these in August, end of August. Maybe we'll get a new sound effect or something, or eventually I'll get a soundboard. I'm still trying to pay myself back for the first 5.5 years of expenses. Holly Locks has joined the train. Thank you, Holly. You've always been supportive. 2 minutes must reach the goal. Is it only 2 minutes? Oh, I must have had a short goal the second one. I didn't realize that. I do want an email from you, Saraf, so you can let me know, you know, just from me to you, like how everything's really going and what you've been up to. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's amazing. You guys are crazy. Saraf. Ocean Wind, welcome in. Oh, I must have missed something. Jay said, yep, $10. What was that about? One more. Did I miss one? Holly Locks. Holly Locks. Wow, I can't believe I reached 2 goals today. $10 or $20? Oh, the target. Yeah, I got 20 out of 20. I just said that like as a joke. I don't want to piss off the audience here, Yes. Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Saraf. And thank you to, I have $1.83 in jewels today, or rubies. Thank you. Yeah, it is cool, Nanette. He's always been my biggest supporter. But I appreciate every single one of you. We've still got 61 people in the house. Everybody make sure you thumbs up this video. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. I'm trying, my next goal is to get this channel to 4,000. I'm at 3,563. If you guys could share this, if every single one of you that are subscribed could share this, it would just go to the stratosphere overnight. If every single one of you here that's subscribed, if all my subscribers could just get one person to join my channel, look what that would show YouTube, and then they would bring more people in because I'm just not getting the views. Flow state. Who sent the flow state? Let me see. It's blocking the screen right now because it comes up real big. Twyla. Thank you for the flow state. Oh, thank you, Jay. You and Roger have always supported me too. Doing great, April. Proud of you. Thank you. Means a lot. 70 people in the house. Yeah, we were up over 100 earlier. That's why I was able to throw out, now that the calendar switched to July, I was able to throw out 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Mama Sees All, for putting up the custom emojis. Yeah, he's the best, Nanette. I don't know who that is. I've heard that name, Patriot Pride. I'll check them out. Cozy Sunflower Mom says you should do a call in to Patriot Pride. Yeah, I don't know who he is. There's so many, but I've always like, I didn't know who the Juice was before the Nancy Guthrie case, and he stood out to me. I liked him from day one. And if you guys aren't subscribed to him, usually lately he's been going on in the middle of the night, but he still has a big audience even in the middle of the night. Christy, yes, to Patriot Pride, love Adam, and he would definitely help you. I'll have to go check him out. Thanks for the recommendation. Good night, Jane Rice. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you always. Hello, Aaron Miller. Are you new here? Or has it just been a while? Let us know where you're coming in from, Aaron. In fact, everybody, do me a favor. Put in the chat where you're coming in from. I know where some of you are from, but there's so many new faces in here now, or so many new usernames. And I can just see the little avatars really small. So let me know where you guys are coming in from. Wrights Game Fowl, North Carolina. Mama Sees All, Norfolk, Virginia. Holly, Pueblo, Colorado. I hope you guys are safe from those fires. Twyla's Bree, Virginia. Britain. Oh, we got Israel in today, the UK. We got Australia, Canada. Kathy's from Wisconsin. Leanne Rayner, Richmond. Richmond, Virginia. Nathan, Arizona. Nanette, my friend, San Diego, California. You're just down the road from me, my friend. Jay says 2020 goal. Yeah, that was cool. Sarap from Tel Aviv. I'm so happy to see you today. I've really missed you, my friend. And not because of the super chats, but just because you're one of my biggest supporters and I have missed seeing you lately. Christy Heary. Adam started a nonprofit for veterans in memory of a nephew he lost overseas. He is from Georgia and just a great guy. They were on last night. Check out the pic he talked about. Okay, I will. I try. Richmond, Virginia. Leanne Rayner. There, we got it. Well, I haven't been to Virginia in years. Adam is Patriot Pride. Gotcha. appreciate that. I'm just so busy, you know, with my own channel. I can't possibly watch everybody, so I just try to watch a little bit of everybody here and there. Cozy Sunflower Mom, Texas here. I bet it's smoking hot this time of year in Texas. Nanette, Patriot Pride Gold Star Family. Oh, okay. Wow. Leanne says, have a wonderful evening, April, in chat. Well, thank you for coming, Leanne. Yeah, like I said, I'm just kind of like dumbfounded. When I came on the air, it was like, should I wait a few hours and try to do more research? Because I just wasn't believing like what I was hearing, that there was rehab and probation on the table. But then my mind goes to other places now that I've had a time to calm down, you know, and go, maybe there's something more going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. Because remember, the feds are investigating this case, but you know, with all the fake ransom stuff that came out and the contents of the second ransom note from the original sender, like a lot of things have been happening this week. Like, I think there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and I'm hoping that they're getting ready to take somebody down for this. Leanne says it's 99 in Virginia today. It'll be over 100 this weekend. Yuck. Yeah, we're going to be in the 80s now, but we still get cool at night. We haven't got into our yucky weather yet. When the rest of you guys are cooling down and getting ready for, you know, Halloween and Thanksgiving, we'll be scorching out in Southern California and hopefully not on fire. Oh, yeah, it's hard to go buy the holiday drinks at the local Starbucks when, you know, it's 110 degrees outside and on fire and smoky. So, yeah, wow, you guys be careful out there. Don't go out in that heat for too long. Christie, Alabama too, Leanne. It was 106 heat index one day this week. Humidity is terrible. Yeah, I actually lived there when I was a child and didn't like it. Pretty, nice people, but couldn't do it. Oh, but every place has got its advantages and its disadvantages, you know? There's the pros and cons to everything. VMIS, 90 here. And best idea really high. Oh, heat index, okay. And you're in Alabama. I do remember that. Welcome in. Another channel member. You've missed a lot today, VMIS. I had this crazy announcement to make about Derrick Callella. Then our old friend from Tel Aviv, Israel, Sarat Nell, came in and just blew up the chat with the super chats. And Holly Locks was in for several as well. And then I handed out 5 free memberships. Hopefully, you know, as soon as I can get a few more, I will have enough to add another custom emoji. Wow. You just got home from work. Well, I'm glad you're home from work. Hope you had a good day. You can always watch this on the replay. Yeah, I've had a lot of videos the last few days just because of all the news and the breaking news. And, you know, then up on my video tab, if you guys haven't seen that, go watch the audio portion of my chat, my most recent chat with the juice. Yeah, a lot happened today, VMIS. Derrick Callella was sentenced to rehab and probation. And it's a head scratcher. It's making me think there's something more going on behind the scenes. Because I thought they were going to throw the book at that scumbag. Why didn't they? I mean, if he needs rehab, send him to rehab. But the guy needs to be locked up. And not for, 90 days or 6 months, but for years for this type of crime. I can't even believe it. That has to do with the DA. No, it's actually, that's a federal situation. It's completely separate from Pima County. That was a federal crime that occurred in California, and the case was transferred to Tucson. It is unbelievable, Rose Margaret, but I'm starting to think that behind the scenes, something's churning. I hope so. It is a federal crime, and it's a serious federal crime, and it took law enforcement away from, the number one goal here, and that is to find Nancy, especially that it happened early on in the case where there was a possibility, although be it slim, that she could have still been alive and time was of the essence. And, there was BS like this going on that they had to go handle, you know, uh, and then he's not even getting any time. Like in his bail from the very beginning, it was very small too. And he was just walking like, what's going on here? DeJuice was not out with the others at federal court. I'm sure he was working. Yes, he does have a full-time job. And I haven't confirmed it with him, but I hear that he works in a nursing home, which, bless him. Holly Locks. If Derrick was involved with A&T in a murder, even a plea deal would never have been for probation. Well, I didn't say that he was involved in a murder, but he might know things that we don't know about yet that he knows. Rose Margaret. Definite jail time in England. Yeah. And everybody pointing fingers at poor Savannah like it's her fault. What, that her mother got kidnapped? It's not her fault. Now, should she have had more security? Absolutely. But we don't know exactly what she did or didn't have. Oh, I love it. Mama sees all. Use the custom emoji. There's my little sweetheart, my little Amelia Kinsley bunny. Yeah, DeJuice works as a physical therapist. I miss hearing him. I try to catch him, but it's in the middle of the night. Yeah, he's working a lot in the day right now. And I always throw him the super chats and the jewels, even though I really can't afford to do so because, I've got my own, medical situations and problems. And, life was a lot simpler before cancer, let me tell you. It was a lot simpler. And then I would be able to do so much more um, for the good people of this world. I'd be able to, throw out the super chats like so rough if, things hadn't worked out in my life the way they did. But if if things hadn't worked out the way they did, I probably would have never started a YouTube channel. Right, you didn't say that, didn't mean to imply that. No problem, Holly. Yeah, remember, everybody here on my channel is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Now, does all of this change? Does anything that's happened the past week change my initial beliefs? No. I still think it is what it is, and I still think there's the leaders and there's the followers, There's the puppet master and the goons. And I haven't changed anything as to what I believe. I have pretty much had my mind set up on this since week number 2. But we will see. Because I'm just following this case like the rest of you, and I'm reporting on it. But I'm not working it. I don't have the evidence that the police or the FBI has access to. I know, VMS, it just makes me wonder. I do not understand how Callella only got what he did. Yeah, especially with his former record. Mama sees it all. Or Mama sees all. Why do I always say that? Mama sees all. You're just where you need to be. Yeah, I know I won't be on the air on the 28th of August because I finally got my order today after having to fight for it since January 30th. And I still don't have my follow-up oncology appointment yet. But let's just take care of that order because I can't do it before the 27th of August. So let's take care of that on the 28th and we'll go from there. And I still have a crap ton of appointments between now and then with, the kidney thing and the cardiologist. And oh my God, it never ends. Vima says she's off until Monday. Nice break. Yes. Enjoy it. Just relax. Nanette says he has to know something about this case. Allegedly. It's quite possible. You guys do need to see the video. Even if you haven't seen it lately, go back and see the video under the video tab regarding the 6 degrees of separation. Jay says Callella is either protected or put in danger being in rehab now. We can watch and see what happens before trial date. I thought this was his trial date. Was this just a preliminary hearing? I thought this was his trial date today. And what's in September if he's already been sentenced? What am I missing here? I need to know more about what's going on. Because I don't want to misstate something here. But this is what I'm hearing. Probation and rehab. Like what? That he pled guilty to the ransom texts and to the phone calls or call. But I need to know more. Sickening. Send him to rehab after he gets done serving time in prison. It's been sketched from the beginning that he was allowed to bail out so quickly, and I don't think he ever saw the inside of a jail cell from the beginning of this. Something's off. There's more to this than we know, I think. And this has nothing to do with Pima County and the sheriff and the DA. This is a federal offense that's separate. Something's off. But please, if you guys are not watching my videos, you can go see the arrest of Alex where things got a little physical on both sides. You can see, and I might take that down because I don't want to get nailed for reuse content. I might have to take that video down. But you can go listen to the audio. I got permission from DeJuice on the most recent phone call. And make sure you guys are subscribed to him. Very, very nice young man. And let's just pray things work out for DeJuice. Because all these, people that have done way worse things than he's done, they're all getting off. I don't want to have to play the race card in this. I hope it's not what this is for DeJuice. It's just sad. Something smells big. Yep. Christy, I keep going back to him calling A&T's phones. Why not call Savannah? A&T didn't have the money. Well, he was saying, hey, what about my Bitcoin? Like, what about that Bitcoin? I'd like to complete the transaction. What does that mean? Complete the transaction? Like, that he's already pre-involved with these people somehow? I want to complete the transaction. Not like, hey, I'm trying to scam you for some free Bitcoin here, but I'd like to complete the transaction. What about my Bitcoin? Ringy dingy dingy. Hello, it's me. What about my Bitcoin? Like I haven't seen my payment yet. That's how I took it. Margaret says I am off to bed. Good night. April and chat, have a great 4th of July weekend. You too, Rose Margaret. Thank you for coming, my dear. That's how I took it. It was almost like he was talking to somebody that he knew. Like, hey, what happened to my Bitcoin? Like when I have to call clients in the old days and go, hey, like, where's my check? Like, hello? Where's my check? It just doesn't sound like somebody that's extorting somebody for ransom or demanding. Something's off. Something's totally off. Now, see, that's what I don't understand, Jay. I need to know more. Sentencing September 10th, but I thought he was sentenced today to probation and rehab. So what's that about in September, on September 10th? I mean, I believe you, but I'm confused. I need to know more what's going on. I need to look up his case online and figure all this out because what's going on? If he pled guilty today and he was sentenced to rehab starting today and he got 5 years probation, but then somebody said 10. I don't think they would give anybody 10. I don't know. Like, what sentencing on the 10th? Like after he completes his rehab? I I'm totally lost, me miss. I'm totally lost. Like, what's going on? I still think there's more to this, but that's just my humble opinion. Something else is up here. Makes no sense. But yet, a black man who commits no crime has got to go to court on a criminal charge because his foot was on the pavement. But yet somebody who, you know, resisted arrest with the police had his federal or his felony charges dropped. Everybody else, they're getting their charges dropped. What's with that? Jason's just sent an email. Okay, thank you, Jay. I'll see it later tonight. Yeah, I need to figure this out. I'm just like, what's going on here? I didn't see this coming. I couldn't wait for him to go to prison. I thought he was going to prison. I know, B miss. She says, oh man, that just sets me on fire. Juice literally did nothing wrong. Nothing. And then when they did wrongly arrest him, he didn't resist or go crazy. He still was respectful. It's not fair. But you know what? Life isn't fair. I'm the prime example of that. You be a good person your whole life and you don't ever do anything wrong. And I spent my whole career fighting for justice and I put my life on the line multiple times. And then I get hammered. But, I'm not the only one that gets hammered with, advanced cancer. And there's another YouTuber I watch occasionally. It's a travel channel from Canada. And, the guy's got stage 4 colon cancer. It's just, he's the nicest guy. It's just like, it's just not fair. Life is not fair. But the people who committed this heinous crime, they're still out there. They're still on the loose. Life's not fair. Christy says, what I'm saying that if everyone says because Savannah is the one with the money and Nancy was taken for Bitcoin, also known as Savannah's money, why not contact Savannah? I still say Callella is more involved. Maybe. I'm confused, Josh. Oh, mostly Doll's helicopter sent the gold coin. Um, a little confused there, Josh. Billy says the good die young. And there's a Billy Joel song about that, isn't there? Only the good die young. Because God takes them from this evil world. I never looked at it like that. Yes, I saw it too, Nanette. I was watching him live at Nancy's house for 10 minutes, and law enforcement pulled up and arrested him. He was very respectful and asked, "What did I do?" And he was shocked. He was truly shocked. And he was sitting on the easement. Remember, he was sitting in the poop and the cactus that were all chopped up. And the neighbor that literally tried to run him over, I saw it. When she threatened to run him and the other YouTuber, I can't remember who he was with at the time, she threatened to run him over. And she came with her car, like speeding and kind of like, like they had to like stand back so they didn't get hit by a car. Like that's a felony assault with a deadly weapon. She's not in jail. Supposedly she's friend with Sheriff Nanos's wife. She didn't get arrested. And she admitted that she, desecrated the cactus or she put the poop out there and the rocks. Like, she's not facing any crimes. She actually, if she did all that, then she actually committed crimes. That lady never got arrested. The trial is off because he pleaded guilty. In September, it's a sentencing hearing. I understand what you're saying, but I heard that today he was sentenced to rehab and probation. So why would there be a sentencing hearing? You missed a lot, Kathy. I'm 82 minutes into this. A lot has happened today. There's been a lot happening on this case since Friday. Yeah, he was sitting in the poop and the desecrated cacti and the rocks and probably a few rattlesnakes and scorpions as well. Following the law. And he's a tall man. He's like 6'2" or 6'4" or something. He's a big man. And, his foot was on the pavement and they're like, "Okay, you're arrested." And he was like, "What?" And he didn't argue. He didn't do what Alex did. Did you see how Alex flipped out? And I know that people handle things in different ways. Just like people grieve in different ways, people have different personalities. But I thought Alex was going to have a heart attack and die. He got so worked up. And now those felony charges were dropped. And those, one of the police officers fell down in the process when his shirt ripped and the officer stumbled, And I thought, oh boy, they'll probably charge him with that too, He walks and the juice has done nothing. And he's still facing court, and I know he's emotionally, he's very upset about it. I know, she admitted to it, Nanette. I can't believe that a homeowner put crap out there. She was not cited for that. Yeah, and apparently it's against the law to cut up the cactus. There is some sort of law, like you can't do that. It's just like when you go to the beaches, you can't take the seashells away because that's a crime. People do it all the time, but you can't do it. You're not supposed to, it's like harming the wildlife. You're not supposed to do that. Okay, I'm so confused. Okay, V-Miss, thank you for looking this up. She said, I looked it up on Chat GPT. It says Callella was not formally sentenced today and that he just changed his plea. So September is when he will be formally sentenced. Makes no sense to me. See, this doesn't make sense because originally when the FBI came to his door and went ding dong, and he answered the door and he was like, yep, cuff me. I did it. I'm guilty. And then I heard rumors last week that he was going to change his plea. Did he change his plea last week? Did he re-change it again today? Because he said he was guilty, which is what he said to begin with. Like, yeah, I did it. I don't understand. I just don't understand what the hell's going on here. Be formally sentenced to what? Like, he already got probation and rehab. I'm so confused. I'm gonna have to do some research when I get off the air. I think I need to eat first and just calm down. Christy says, sent you a picture of an overview of Callella's sentencing. Thank you. Thank you, Christy. Yes, the cactus is protected in Arizona. I believe so, Nanette. Oh, thank you, Kathy Doherty, for throwing up the custom emojis. Yeah, you missed a lot, Kathy. Because it's July now and there was more than 100 people in the room, I gifted 5 memberships to the chat. And our old friend, Saraf, who we haven't seen for a while from Tel Aviv, came in and just blew up the super chats, as did Holly Locks. Demas says, it makes no sense. I'm totally confused. And I've worked in the criminal justice system my entire career. But I'm not like a federal prosecutor or a lawyer. So I see it from the investigative end. But, I've spent my whole career going to court. Even since I've been disabled and retired, I've had to go to court like at least 3 times. For years, I've had to go to court. From Superior Court to Workers' Compensation Court to small claims. I mean, for years I've had to go to court. I don't think I've ever had to go to a federal court. I've had to go to federal courthouses and deal with federal records, things like that, but I don't know if I've ever been to federal court. It's 42 years all crammed into my ever shrinking brain. I don't understand. And I'm not a stupid person. I mean, I don't have a doctorate or anything, but I don't understand. If he's sentenced today, but then he has a formal sentencing. I mean, are they going to see how he does in rehab first? I don't get it. There's obviously more going on here. There has to be. There's no way the feds would be that easy on him. They'd just be like, oh, just have a little break in rehab and we'll see you later. I just don't buy it. Unless he's a bigger piece of this puzzle. Didn't Jay say that earlier? He might be one of the pieces to the 500-piece puzzle. It must have something to do with Pima County somehow. Chris McDonough will most likely talk about it tonight. He's the interview room. Oh, just unbelievable. Hey, Miss Pittsburgh. Good evening. Yeah, this is shocking. Absolutely shocking. It's pretty unbelievable to me. It is crazy. And it's a distraction from what's really important here. Hashtag justice for Nancy. Let's find Nancy Guthrie. Let's put behind bars forever whoever is involved in this. If somebody involved in this is watching this, please call 1-800-CALL-FBI or just go down to the Pima County Sheriff's Station and turn yourself in. You'll probably get a better deal than the rest of the a-holes involved in this. Do what's right. It's never too late to rehab and to reform and do what's right. People make mistakes. Maybe somebody was in a bad way financially. They needed the money badly for something that we don't even know about, and they got talked into doing something that they shouldn't have done, and now they're remorseful about it. It's still time to do the right thing. Yeah, will you serve some time? Yeah, I think so. But look what Callella did. And so far he's gotten not a zip. Nothing. Zero. Do the right thing. Because you know what? I'm never going to stop beating the drum for Nancy. VMIS says, do you think they are just going easy on him so the perp starts getting more comfortable? I doubt it. She says, I don't know, I'm reaching here. Anything is possible. Did they ever pay any ransom to anyone? Well, there was some seed money. Originally, I heard it was $300. Now I've heard it was $152 that was thrown into the Bitcoin account, but nobody ever took it. Nobody ever bit. And I don't think that was a good move to do that. To throw some seed money in, hoping that somebody would go for it and they would be able to trace it. I mean, criminals are stupid, but they're not that stupid. They're going to wait for the payoff, and then they're going to, they're going to run. Lots going on, Boston Bill. You'll have to watch the replay. But Derrick Callella got rehab and probation thus far. No jail time, no prison time, even though he's guilty. Thank you, Boston Bill. I'm confused, and I'm mind blown. But I had to get on the air because everybody was coming across the air with it. I'm like, okay, I'll have to figure it all out later, all the specifics. But yeah, I'm in shock. And in the meantime, nobody, as far as we know, has been arrested for the actual disappearance, kidnapping, abduction, probably murder of poor, sweet Miss Nancy. It still tells me that there's more going on behind the scenes here. Well, we don't know that they don't have anything. We just know that nobody's been arrested yet, and it's 5 months and 2 days. It's day number 152. So other than the Callella arrest, although the sheriff did say that the FBI he said arrest, plural, on the fake ransoms, but, I don't believe everything that man says. And then he contradicts himself, so. Are there more people behind the scenes that have been arrested that we don't know about? I don't think they'd be able to hide that. Hello, KMG. It just, I was hoping that something was going to break this week because so much has happened on this case since last Friday, and it's only, like Thursday? This past week has been a very active week on this case. But are we any closer to solving the Nancy Guthrie case? And if you're still here, Sassy, thank you so much. I'm going to be doing tests later tonight. I know it's hard to see with the green screen, but these are my Rode Wi-Fi mics and transmitter. And they even came with a windshield, so if I have to use them outside, oh my God. I almost cried when I picked these up, Sassy. Mostly Dolls Helicopters coming in with the $2 Canadian Super Chat. Wow, what a day. Thank you, Mostly Dolls Helicopters. I appreciate it. Lori Smith says, I wonder what the family thinks of this sweetheart deal. I thought they would have thrown the book to discourage these fraudsters. Me too. And I agree, Lori. And I think the family, they're probably heartbroken unless they've been told, which I don't think they have, because remember, Nanos isn't communicating with the family anymore. Or it's more likely that they've stopped communications with him. But yes, tells me that Derrick Callella is either a little bit more involved in this or he knows things. Because remember the wording that were in those text ransoms. Hey, what about my Bitcoin? Like, hey, I'm waiting to finish the transaction, or I'm waiting to complete the transaction. Like, huh? I don't think you guys can hear that, but make sure my door's locked. Is my door locked? I hear the LAPD whirlybird very low over my building right now. I'm getting all teched up. I am. And apparently there's an app. There's a phone, there's an app I can go to on my mobile device for these mics, so that if I was out in the field and, I didn't have my transmitter, well, why would I have my mics and not have my transmitter? But apparently there's a way you can go on without the transmitter, and the transmitter actually has like a little screen on it that shows you, how much battery life you have in each mic, and oh my God. And apparently there's some settings you can do. Just like my, it's taken forever, this Blue Yeti that I got from another member. And I still don't know who he is. I mean, I know his name, but I don't know who he is in my chat. He sent a lot of things, and he sent me this mic at the very beginning of my wish list, and it was my #1 item, and it was expensive. And I'm still learning some of the back end settings on this. Like my last time that I used it, I think I blew your ears off, and I'm like, oops, sorry people. I think I need to, turn the Yeti down. I'm still like experimenting with that, but be doing some testing tonight. Thank you, Sassy Granny. The family never showed up today at federal court. I wouldn't expect them to, especially with, the caregivers who have a house 10 minutes away from her being MIA. I'm not even sure they're in the country right now, to tell you the truth. V-Miss says, yeah, it's a huge letdown. Unless there's something else cooking, V-Miss, that we don't know about. Also wonder if the family had to sign off since they are the victims. That's a good question. Sorry, Kitty and Bunny, too sensitive ears. I know. I was like, whoa, when I heard that video back. Because there's like a video within a video, and you hear the old mic and just a regular voice, and then it goes way up. And I'm like, oh my God. And at first I couldn't get the volume, even with the gain turned up and the volume turned up. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And then I noticed I had to go into my computer and turn it up on the actual, inside the computer settings. Lori Smith! You guys, today is incredible. Wow. Thank you. I'll be getting to my minimums already by July 2nd almost. Of course, I won't see it till the end of August, believe it or not. Yeah. Because I'll get my June check at the end of July. April, is it possible they are in witness protection? Absolutely not. I mean, you never know, but I don't think so. I think the chances of that would be less than 1%. Now, are they in hiding due to security issues? Probably. Because 80 to 85% of the people that have been following this case think that they're somehow involved in this. I've never said that. I don't know if they are or they aren't. But as far as the goons, I pretty much got that figured out. And I'm hoping that the FBI does too. I don't think they're in witness protection at all. I'd sure like to know who's paying their bills and their mortgage. And I mean, I don't think they have a car payment on a 20-year-old Honda or whatever they have. But, who's paying the mortgage? Lady Shore, do you think DC got his deal because he is talking? Maybe. I'm wondering because he has to appear back in court in September. I heard and may have a few years of jail. See, that's what I don't understand, because I heard that he did plead guilty today. that he was sentenced to rehab and probation. So I'm not sure what that September 10th sentencing hearing is about if he already got sentenced. There's obviously something I'm missing to this. Nanette says, I was thinking more along the lines of hiding out. Could be. A lot of people seem to think that they're in Italy for the summer. Because apparently they did that every summer. They went to Italy. I don't know how, you know. You're a school teacher. You only work 9 months out of the year, but you haven't worked all year, but you have money to go to Italy. There's just so many questions and so many red flags in this case. And I hope, personally, that they're not involved at all. Because if they are, and Savannah's living in a dream world, I don't think mentally she will ever recover from this. If her mother is never found, no body is recovered. And if it turns out that it's somebody close to her and this could have been prevented, she will just, that'll be the end of Savannah. I'm praying that it's not somebody in the family or close to the family. But this was not just some random crime. You know, she was targeted for a reason. Hey, Stax. Hello, Brian. Welcome in. Yeah, you guys are going to have to watch the replay on this. Like, every time I get ready to get off the air, I get another super chat thrown at me. So I'm like, and the finances have been so down on the channel, even though the views are higher than I've ever had. Oh, and a lot of people came in at the beginning of this. Like, there was over 100 people that came in. 3564. I'm up to 3564. Wow, it means I'm 436 subscribers away from 4K. What should we do during the 4K party if I can actually make it there? Because it went really quickly from 2K to 3K. But if I get to 4K, what are we going to do here? Like, I think everybody that's subscribed to me, if they could just talk to a friend or two and say, hey, can you go subscribe to this lady and watch her videos? That the numbers could just explode overnight. Oh, wow, VMiss. That's interesting. I didn't see that. I read last night that Annie is in a mental hospital. Wouldn't it be something if that turned out to be true? I mean, I'm not going to say it because, I've had people come into my chat before and say, hey, Annie Tommaso, they were just hauled away in handcuffs. No, they weren't. Prove it. Show it to me. But wow, I'd love to know more about that, VMiss. Where'd you read that? I know. Who knows? That's what I read, but I can't prove it because I don't know them, VMiss. But I read last night somewhere that they typically would go spend summers in Italy. Who was paying for that? Is she really making that much money being a poet and selling jewelry on Etsy? Because I know school teachers, they don't make that much money. Especially at their age, to start a new mortgage and buy a big house, and then they're raising a kid, and I don't know. Savannah may have set up a trust for Annie, her sister, as well. I hope not, Savannah. You had an 11-hour tattoo session. Oh my God, you are so brave, Stax. I could not do that. I don't have one to show, but I'm going to take you out for that. Goodbye. Oh, Read an article on Facebook. Never know those, but it's a thought. Yeah, a lot of those Facebook pages are just fake news. I've been wondering that, Maggie. Has anyone heard Savannah was taking another leave of absence from the Today Show? All I know is that she didn't show up on Monday, but when I asked yesterday, did she show up Tuesday or Wednesday? Does anybody know? Was she there today? I bet Nancy was gifting tickets. I see a lot of this in my work with elder abuse. I see a lot. And there's a lot of rumors here about things that were going on that are just rumors. But there's just so many red flags. And God forbid that something is not right within the sheriff's department or within the DA's office. God forbid. Because if something really is sketched there, we may never have answers. And then I can't possibly come on every day for the rest of my life. She was affiliated with the NGO in Tucson, could have been getting millions from that if that was one of the corrupt ones. Who was in the NGO? There's so much to this. Thank you for everybody that sent the super chats. Thanks again, Sassy Granny. Oh my God, you've done so much, outside of the chats here with some of these gifts from the wish list. Thank you so much. And then our old friend Sarop came in today, and so many people have followed and come right back with the super chats, and it just shows that you guys are, everybody's as interested in this as I am. There's another situation I'm really interested in, and I'm waiting for October for the book to come out. But on October the 13th, I believe, Colin Gosselin's book is going to come out. And I've always been Team Colin, no matter what happened with his mental health, whatever did or didn't happen. I don't think a parent should just lock up a child and never come visit them in a mental health facility. I think a lot's going to come down with that, and I am going to get the book, and we're going to discuss it here in the future when the time is right. I'm also kind of surprised today about my neighbor, Melissa, going to be Patsy Ramsey in the upcoming Netflix series, The Murder of John Benet Ramsey. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that when that happens. Name of the book, please. Oh, what is it? Let me look it up really quick. I'll have to go off screen. I'll have to do a Google chat. It's not out, but it is already available for pre-sales. And I'll tell you right now, I'm predicting it here. I'll eat my words if I'm wrong. It's going to be a bestseller. It will be a bestseller. In the Shadow of Eight by Colin Gosselin. Let me click that for a moment. Okay, here's a complete term. In the shadow, or a complete title, In the Shadow of Eight, Surviving the Reality of My Childhood. It is going to be on Kindle, hardcover. Wow, Amazon's already got it up, and it's being released on Tuesday, October 13th. There's already the cover too, and it's him and his mother, and she's like got her hand like this over his mouth. Supposedly and we don't want to accuse her of anything without the proof or the evidence, but allegedly when he was locked in the basement of the home, allegedly, he was zip tied. She zip tied her child. It's just, if she really did all the horrible things that I'm hearing that she did, plus she stole his money, allegedly, speculatively. But I thought I heard her admit that she had to dip into some of the kids' funds in order to pay her bills. You know, what's really sad is that she's a nurse again. Yeah, she's just a regular folk like the rest of us now. And she's like a pediatric nurse that works in people's homes or some damn thing. Why would you let a woman like that around your children? Around a baby? A pediatric nurse? Are you kidding me? This is somebody who allegedly locked her child in a basement, zip tied his hands and his feet, and then threw him into a mental institution for 2 years, never told the father where he was. And the father's not innocent in all this because why wasn't he looking for the kid? I mean, are you serious? If she did all these things that he's going to accuse her of and they can prove it, let's hope she's charged. But this is all alleged. But I'm definitely going to read the book, and I'm team Colin. And I'm not saying he's totally innocent in this situation. I don't know, but we will be talking about this in the future. Thank you, Pauline. I'm getting ready to go off the air so you can watch the replay. Yeah, she's a pediatric nurse now. Like, what? Well, she was a nurse before she became a big reality TV star. I just resaw the scene recently. I know this is getting off topic a little bit, but I saw the scene that was it was a scene from Kate Plus 8, or John and Kate Plus 8, in the original series, John and Kate Plus 8, and on live television, what was recorded live, she berated her husband, her then husband, for breathing. Like, the look on his face. And he wasn't a perfect guy either, but, just, and the public threw millions at them. I just, Team Colin, that's all I can say. Team Colin, hashtag justice for Nancy. Jay says, nothing will happen in that case. Dad was also overwhelmed by dominant narcissists. My opinion, of course, from watching the show. Yeah, I did watch the original too, John and Kate Plus 8. I did see some of Kate Plus 8, but not all of it. I also saw, believe it or not, there was a short-lived reality show with the former governor of Alaska, Sarah Palin. And in one of the episodes, the Gosselin kids and Kate, when she was just Kate Plus 8, flew from Pennsylvania to Alaska in the wintertime and went on a camping trip with the Palins. That's when Sarah Palin was still married to Todd Palin, and they had their children, and they went on a camping trip, as Alaskans do, even in the wintertime. And let's just say, on the Gosselin side, especially the mother, things didn't go well. And, you don't have to be a Sarah Palin fan. I'm not a big Sarah Palin fan, but it's worth the watch. If you haven't seen that, get that video. There's a DVD out there because it's a very short-lived series, and watch the episode where the Palins go on a winter camping trip in Alaska in the freezing winter with the Goslings. It's crazy. It's shocking. D-Miss is so unsettling that Kate is a nurse. I know. I just wanted to mention that. that, we're still going to talk about Nancy. We're never going to stop beating the drum on Nancy. But when the book comes out, In the Shadow of 8, Surviving the Reality of My Childhood, we're definitely going to discuss it. We're going to discuss it. And it's just, one side of the story, but we're going to talk about it a little bit. You'll have to see it. It's just the looks on the faces of the Palins will just tell you everything you need to know. Poor John, Jonathan Gosselin. He certainly wasn't the perfect husband and didn't have a whole lot of get up and go, but I did feel sorry for the guy. Berated on national television for breathing. Oh, how could he have ever got involved in a trap like that? And I don't think all the kids are all right as they've grown up. There's still some issues behind the scenes. There's just no way that everybody is normal after that situation. April P.I.'s Posse does a book club. Yeah! April's P.I. Posse or the Pips. Who came up with that? Was it Phyllis? April Davis P.I. and the Pips, which stands for the P.I. Posse. Have you guys heard about that? Oh my gosh. Thanks for bringing that up, Nanette. I appreciate you, my dear. Yeah, this has been a long one. I only wanted to come on the air for 30 minutes and because I need to go find out more about this Derrick Callella cluster F that happened today. Thank you, Kinsley. He did work for his family. Yeah, poor John. Yeah, she'd give him $5 so he could buy like half a Subway sandwich when he would go to lunch every day at his job. Like, here's a bag lunch or here's $5 for your wallet, John. And you go to Subway and you buy a half a sandwich. But yet they were making millions of dollars on reality television and he was allowed to have $5 and, couldn't take the debit card in his wallet. Like, talk about being whipped. Unbelievable. You'll have to go back, Stacks. It's at the beginning of this video. 1 night a week for the book club. Yeah, we're going to do something. Treated him like a child. Yeah. Like I said, he wasn't perfect either, and remember, he was accused of being the cheater, but now all these years it's kind of come out that it was actually her, because she was accused of having an affair with the bodyguard, which she denied, but they're together now. There were times, in fact, when it was just her and the bodyguard and the kids on the road, that the kids were made to sleep alone in their hotel rooms, even though they were minors. They were made to sleep alone because mommy was allegedly hooked up with the bodyguard in her own private room. And these kids were, they were in the middle of filming and they were, supposedly left alone. Sounds a lot like the Culkin kids and all the stuff that happened there, when they were minors. Like, this is all alleged, but let's just see what comes out in this book. I'm not a Kate Gosselin fan, and poor Colin wanting to serve his country in the Marines and actually getting in, and then she made a big deal online about, oh, but I had my son in a mental hospital, and then they went, oops, we didn't see that in the vetting process, and you're gone. I've heard that he's going to try to reapply. I hope so, but if it's true, he'll probably never get in. It's just, but you know what? Now he's written this book and he's going to college and he's going to be a millionaire from this book. And I'm, I don't have a lot of money. I may not be able to buy the hardcover, but I don't know. How much does it cost to get a Kindle? Or can you just buy the audio portion without owning a Kindle? Is that possible? Because I see Kindle is available, hardcover is available. Well, it's not even available yet. It doesn't come out until the 13th. but they're already taking pre-sales now. This book might hit the bestsellers list before it's even released. What a tragic situation. It's hard for me to even imagine because I'm not married and I have no children. What is it with Gosselin and Palin called? It's a reality series. I'd have to look it up, but there was a reality TV series that starred Sarah Palin and her family, and there's an actual DVD. They only had like 7 or 8 episodes or something, and it's really worth the watch because not only did I learn a lot about her family and her children, uh, but there's an entire episode where the Palins and the Goslings go camping together in Alaska. And it was after John and Kate plus 8. It was after she was on her own and she was just doing Kate plus 8. But it's actually an episode of the Sarah Palin or the Palin Family reality series, whatever that was called. I think it's got the word Alaska in the title. Look it up on IMDb or just look it up on Google. And it's in DVD. It is available. It's worth a watch just to see that one episode involving the Goslings. Just the way Todd and Sarah looked at each other, like they couldn't believe like what was happening. Like is this woman for real? Like, huh? Like, I mean, if you could slay somebody with looks, and Sarah Palin's not a trained actress, remember. And this was for real. In a lot of reality series, they're not really real; they're scripted. But it's worth the watch. How old was Colin when he was sent to that mental hospital? I think he was around 12 or 13, wasn't he? Colin was said to be severely autistic by his mother. We don't know what the situation was. Usually when you have a litter of children like that, multiple births, even with twins, there can often be developmental issues, health issues, mental health issues, hearing issues, eyesight issues. It's very, very risky to have that many kids. You remember the lady in Iowa? How many did she have? They had one, and then what did she have? Like 7? And the guy made like $10 an hour at the Chevy dealer, and the mother didn't have any teeth. And they lived in like a 1-room apartment in Iowa or something. And the mother had no teeth. Or missing teeth. And the dad made $10 an hour in the parts department at the local Chevy dealer. And all of a sudden now they've got 8 kids. And a couple of those kids have had, I think, cerebral palsy or muscular dystrophy, one of those neurological disorders. And they've all turned out pretty well, all of those kids. But, you're always taking a risk. And that was just such a messed up environment. I'm not surprised that some of the kids had problems. Remember, they had a set of twins before they had the sextuplets. And one of those twins, she was always off. There was a lot of serious issues with one of the twins. There may still be. I don't know. I don't know these people. But it's worth watching the episode where Kate plus 8 joins, Sarah Palin's reality TV series, and they go camping in the middle of winter in Alaska. It's oh my God. I'm telling you, people, it's worth a watch. I read she said he had severe behavioral issues along with autism. He might have. I don't know. But, if you do have a kid like that, you get them help. Stacks! Okay, the long and the short of it, Stacks. Supposedly he pleaded guilty in federal court today in Tucson and was sentenced to immediate rehab and probation. However, I'm also hearing that there's another sentencing hearing coming up on September 10th, which I don't really understand that if he was already sentenced today. But so far, no incarceration. That's the short of it, Stacks. Let's read that again, Nanette. I read she said he had severe behavioral issues along with autism. Maybe. Like I said, one of those remember they had the girl twins? And I believe they were fraternal twins. And then obviously there was the sextuplets. But one of the twins had a lot of issues. And I could see it right away in the show. But see, I have a good eye for stuff like that. And maybe he did have some behavioral issues, but you don't just lock your child up in a facility and then never come to visit them and then hide them from the father. And why was he in there for almost 2 years, possibly 3? And John Gosselin, the father, had no access to him and wasn't looking for his child. What was going on with that? He had to write a help note with borrowed crayons and have another patient sneak it out so they could get this handwritten note that was scribbled in crayon saying, Dad, please help me, come get me, like save me. He didn't even know. Like, how did he not know where his child was? And how could, if he did need to be institutionalized, why was he in a basement, allegedly, locked in a basement, allegedly, with his hands and his feet zip tied? That's a crime. If they can prove any of this, she needs to go to prison. Just for stealing his trust fund, allegedly. She needs to be doing time. Trust me, now that he's going to make millions off this, he'll be able to hire the right lawyers. And at least maybe they can go after her, civilly speaking. Callella, Jewel says, Callella got probation and has to go into residential rehab. How on earth did they get money for multiple birth treatments? 6 kids doesn't happen by accident. Well, he wasn't a garage employee, not John Gosselin, but the lady that had the, I think it was quintuplets. The lady in Iowa, I can't remember their names. Guy was nice looking guy, worked at a Chevy dealer, made $10 an hour, and they lived in like a 1-room house or something. And then they were bought a house, they were gifted a van, they were gifted diapers, formula for years. And the community rallied behind them and signed up to help take shifts to help them. I think the woman finally got teeth. That was the Iowa couple, whatever their names were, and they had the quintuplets. They had a daughter, and then they had the quintuplets, and then the Goslins had the twins, Maddie and Kara, and then they had 6. And Kate was a nurse at that time, and I think John at the time was like an IT guy at a company somewhere. And apparently he had sporadic employment, and he wasn't allowed to breathe or have more than $5 in his pocket at any given time. Poor guy. It's just terrible. And those poor children, And now that this book is going to come out and hopefully the truth will prevail, hopefully the other kids will open their eyes because most of the other children have been brainwashed. They haven't seen him since he was like 13 or 14, I don't think. It's just sad. I think he's like 22, 23 now. They haven't seen their brother in years. It is bad. It's horrible, says Lady Shore. She's a bad person, but that's just my opinion. And all these allegations are just that. They're allegations. Remember, everybody is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Nanette says, boy, does she ever need to be behind bars. If she's done all the things that she's been accused of, then I agree with that. The lady in Iowa that had the quintuplets had the missing teeth. They were just super, super poor. And I think they took some fertility drugs, and then they had 7. And they couldn't afford the one that they already had. And I think most of those kids all turned out, but I think 2 of them have either muscular dystrophy or cerebral palsy. There was another family like that, and the guy was a cop in New Jersey, and they were on TLC as well. It was called Table for 12, and it was the parents And then there was twins. There was 2 sets of twins. And one set was like boy-girl twins, and then there was another set, I think they might have been boys, I don't remember. And then they had 6. And one of the 6 was severely, severely handicapped, would require 24-hour care for the rest of her life. I can't remember her. It was a girl. I think she was blind and deaf and cerebral palsy and needed 24-hour care for the rest of her life. That was the family in New Jersey. And I liked them, but their show didn't go very far. But there was Table for 12, then there was John and Kate plus 8, and then, of course, the Duggars, who we won't even get into right now. It's just, oh my God. But I am gonna listen. I'm either gonna read or listen to this book. But that's not until October 13th. And somebody like me, with all my health issues, that's a long ways away. So we'll talk about it then. Was the last name Garcia? Whose last name? Yeah, Lady Shore says she made me feel uptight when I watched the show. I know. Goslin's had some money. Yet Kate made a good money as a nurse, and John worked. But the guy that worked for the Chevy dealer in the parts department, they were a very poor couple in Iowa. And it doesn't cost a lot to live in Iowa, but they were super poor, and then got pregnant again and had 7. I'm pretty sure it was 7. They went from 1 to 8 kids, and they were just a young couple. And like I said, she couldn't even afford to go get her teeth, and I don't know why a young woman, because she was very young when that happened. I don't know if there was an accident or, I mean, she already didn't have her teeth. She wasn't like in her 50s or 60s or 70s, They were probably in their 20s or 30s, and she had no teeth, and it was sad. And she seemed like the sweetest person. Stacks and another $2. Didn't even see that yet. The Hayes family. Okay, the Hayes. That was Table for 12. And I know this is going to sound like a stupid reason. Let me get to them for just a moment. I really love that show, and it's the dumbest reason that I watched it. But when I was a kid, I had a very close friend who I met in the South, and she had moved to the South from Southern California. And I had also moved to the South from California. I'd spent my baby years in the Bay Area, my toddler years, and then went to Los Angeles. We briefly lived in Westchester. And so when I was 8 years old, I met this kid on a bicycle, and they didn't survive there very long, being diehard Angelenos, and shockingly did not move to California. They moved to New Jersey just before we moved to Maryland. And I spent about 5 years of my childhood between the ages of 13 and 18 in New Jersey. And I didn't have the best childhood. I have to tell you, I didn't come from the best family situation without going into personal details. And this family that moved to New Jersey that were from California, like me, they were my home away from home. And those are the best memories of every Christmas I ever had, every Thanksgiving, every summer, every winter break, spring break. My childhood that I spent in New Jersey, specifically in Medford, New Jersey, outside of Philly, was some of the best memories that I still have to this day of my childhood. And I get very emotional about it. But that's why I watched Table for 12, because they were a nice family, and the guy was a cop, and she was a mom. And, they had this disabled child that was in a wheelchair, that was deaf and blind, and, would require 24-hour daycare. And I was like, you know what? These are nice people they're just simple people from New Jersey. And it was just because, I'm going to watch this family because they're from New Jersey. And that's why I got into it. I know that was a stupid reason, but then I really liked them. They seemed like they were good folks. Everybody give Stacks a thumbs up on his super chat. I appreciate you. Lady Shore says, sad situation and family did not help them. Oh, you mean the people in Iowa? Those kids all turned out really good, though, and they're contributing members of society, and they're all gorgeous. Yeah, and the community, the United States and big companies, we're like, here's a car, here's a van. We're going to buy you a house. We're going to throw you diapers. We're going to throw you formula. We're going to clothe. I think a child's clothing company clothed them for the first 5 years of their life. Neighbors signed up on like waiting lists to go move in with them and help them so many hours a day with all the babies. Because how do you feed 7 babies at once? That poor mother. I don't know how they did it. And they've since sold that house. I think they donated it. They either sold it or they donated it to like some type of a charity that needed like rooms for, I don't know if it's an orphanage now. I'd have to look, but they did either sell or donate their house once the kids were out on their own. That family turned out, but it was the Hayes. Yes. Table for 12. It took place in New Jersey. And there was 2 twins, 2 sets of twins, and then sextuplets. Stax has been waiting 5 months. Come on already. I know. The McCaughey's. Yes. Thank you, Nanette. The McCaughey's. And they seem like wonderful people. Was the family with that was so poor? Yes. But very nice people. And all of their kids have like apparently just turned out wonderful. I think even one of their children is in the military. They've gone to college. One's in the military. They're all successful kids. Beautiful kids. With all the help that they had, things turned out on the positive side for them, and they've been able to give a lot back. One of our usuals. Go join your friends in timeout. Goodbye. They got money in trust funds, I am sure. Who? The Hayes? The Goslins? The McCaughey's? Yeah, the trust funds for the Goslin kids, supposedly Kate was dipping into some of them, including Collins. But remember, these are all allegations. None of this has been proved. But I think this book, if it has enough support, which I think it will, I think just in pre-sales alone, it might hit the bestsellers list. Everybody's going to buy this book. Everybody's going to support this kid. And good for you, Colin. That is great. Improved their lives and passed it on to others. Yes, they did. Very good people. Now, do I feel that way about Kate Goslin? No. Could never stand her. But I did watch the show, which is in a way supporting her, but I did watch the show for the sake of the kids. I'm just thinking back to some of those scenes now, like, oh my God, that was many years ago. Hopefully life turns out for all of those kids. I wish those kids well. And John too, that poor guy. Now, for whatever misfortune that comes the mom's way, sorry, not sorry. Just saying. It'll all catch up. They say the truth always comes out. And that's why I'm hopeful with this Miss Nancy case. That's why we're here. That's why I'm talking to you for 139 minutes and 7 seconds, that the truth will come out. But we are going to talk a little bit about this Ramsey series when it comes out, since my neighbor Melissa is in it. I'm just shocked because she's a comedian and she's going to play Patsy Ramsey. I think it's awesome. I can't wait to see that. And I don't usually watch these Ramsey movies at all, but I don't know if I've ever watched any of the movies or series on JonBenet Ramsey, but I'm going to watch that one. And I am going to, I don't purchase books or Kindles or audiobooks too often, but whatever is available to purchase, the cheapest way for me to get it so that we can go over it a little bit at a time here, we're going to go over it. So I would suggest everybody get that book when it becomes available. I'm just, praying for good vibes for Colin Gosselin. Imagine the movies that'll be coming on Nancy. I know, Stacks. I know, but you know what? Let's get this solved. Let's find Nancy. Let's not be distracted by this Derrick Callella crap, is what it is. Well, after being on the air for 6 months on this, Betty, we do talk about other things. See ya. Oh boy. Yeah, let's hope that we're close to a resolution in the Nancy case. I was thinking earlier this week, I was hopeful that things were starting to happen. But then after what I heard about today, I feel a little less positive than I did earlier this week. I'm just saying, I have to be honest with you. I can't lie to my audience. If I sound a little down, I am a little down. I was hoping that this was closer. And then I'm hearing about this alleged corruption within the police department and maybe even the DA's office. I don't know. I don't live in Pima County, but, this guy's not going to serve any time, but yet there's another hearing for sentencing. I don't get it. I got to learn more about this. I got to watch some of the other YouTubers, or thank you for those who may have sent me some emails on this. I'll be sure to read those tonight. Okay, Nanette says they donated the home. I thought they donated it because at first I said sold, and then I was like, no, I'm wrong about that. They donated the home, which was gifted to them, to Ruth Garber, a home that is for supporting young unwed women. I thought it was something like that. And they didn't sell it. I think they donated it because I don't think they had a mortgage on that house. That house was gifted to them, as was their van, as was diapers. I think one of the very popular children's clothing companies, was it Carter's? One of the clothing companies donated clothing for all children for the first 5 years, I think. They had formula, baby food, groceries, all kinds of things were donated, washers and dryers, car seats, and even then it was still just like, oh my God, and the guy was still going to his job every day, like, oh my God. Sandy says, I was not happy about him getting a probation and he admitted to the scam. Yeah, I would love to have heard what went on in that hearing. Oh, I remember that because that happened in California. Jay, Nadia Suleiman had 6, then had 8 by fertility treatment. I think she was a nutcase. She was single, on welfare, and approved. Yeah, the doctors need to, I think, weren't they being looked into for that? I mean, oh my God. That was a bad one. That wasn't like a good story like the McCaulays, who, I've always was very supportive of them. And I would cry when I would see that woman, like, I hope they could get some donations from a local dentist and somebody can buy that woman some teeth. I just wanted her to have teeth, She didn't care about that. She just, she had a young daughter and sextuplets to take care of, and how overwhelming that must have been. But I think they were good people with good hearts. And their kids have, like I said, they're all beautiful. They're gorgeous girls, handsome boys. Most of them have gone to college. One is in the military. Haven't heard any bad stories about any of them. It's just, can you imagine if everybody did that? I mean, now we're having a baby shortage in the United States. Hell, the whole world, we're having a shortage now, a population shortage. That's going to affect the next, generation. People aren't getting married anymore and having kids. Not as much. Half of 30-year-old women are not married and have no children anymore. I mean, I was one of those, but I contributed to this world in another way. Oh, wow. Jeremy says, up in Canada, we have a guy who got patrol after R-ing a 12-year-old girl and chopping off her. Okay. The justice system is it. Okay, I don't know about that. Oh, yeah. Don't know about that. I'm not saying that it's not true. I'm just saying I don't know about that case. But yeah, very sad. But everybody, Team Colin. Hashtag justice for Nancy. And as long as we're talking about reality TV, the 19 kids and counting situation, I think there's certain people that are going to be rotten in prison in that case. Those cases that we can't talk about here. Things are, I think the wheels of justice are turning on that, but in a good way. So remember, this is not just a true crime channel. This is just supposed to be about my life. Nobody was supposed to be watching. But now, how many people do we have after today's live? We're up to 3564. It's going to be a slow crawl, people, to 4,000. If everybody here can just, share my channel with somebody and ask that their friends or their family members subscribe, we could get a significant jump. So I appreciate that, everybody. Where do we go now for Nancy? I'm going to continue to talk about her. I talked about her today. You just have to come back to the beginning, Stacks. Yeah, family is the most important work you will do. I have my Thai family. They're not my biological family, but I have my Thai family. And they're the most important people in my life. Well, including my pets. Another weird one, reality TV should be outlawed. I was actually offered a reality series back in the day by the Nashville Network, and I turned it down. She did eventually get the dental implants, even the two that have MS are professionals. Oh, good. Did they have multiple sclerosis or did they have cerebral palsy? Because I'm thinking about, okay, there was the girl on table for 12, and I can't remember her name, and she was one of the sextuplets. And she was deaf, blind, and what did she have? And then two of the Macaulay quintuplets, they either had MS or MD or one of those horrible neurological illnesses. But all of them, even the ones that had the disabilities, have done well. I think the justice system in the states need cleaned out and better justice. Here in Kansas, there's a lot of missing children. Yeah. SR71, those cases, 19 kids and counting, really blows my mind. The cover-up is always worse than the crime. And, and some of those kids have turned out really, really well. But seems like the girls have turned out better than the boys because there's a lot of bad stuff going on. It's just that I kind of don't like to talk about that, although we have had some Duggar videos here because people wanted them, but that's getting into like touchy subjects here for YouTube as far as what some of those boys have been accused of. Nanette says her granddaughter lives in Wichita and she said many missing children. Where are all these missing children? Oh my God. Where are all these missing children? There's so many missing. And sometimes the audience, they'll come down on me and they'll be like, hey, why are we just talking about Nancy? But this is a big case. This is huge. This is like, it's big, like an OJ case. It's big. So many missing in Tennessee. The state that has the most missing people per capita is actually Alaska. And part of that could be attributed to that 70% of the state has no roads, and there's a lot of air travel, and there's a lot of missing aircraft, the weather, the topography, the mountains, the glaciers. But there's also a lot of weird stuff that goes on in Alaska. And there's a lot of military stuff that is not made public that's going on in Alaska. And there's some very interesting stories out there. It's a very large state. It's the largest state in the United States, although it's not part of the lower 48. But it actually has the highest percentage per capita of missing people in the nation. And once you're declared missing in Alaska, you're always a missing person. It's not like LA. If you're declared missing, your case is closed in 1 year, whether they find you or not. But in Alaska, they keep the case open for a lifetime until, your fate is determined. Hopefully stay home with my pets and watch a ball game and maybe do YouTube. Stack says, what are your plans for 4th of July? Don't really have any. Leanne, I left, ate dinner, went to the grocery store. I'm shocked that I'm still going. Oh my God. Me too. But boy, I've had a good day with the super chats, haven't I? And those have been really down lately. I think maybe that's the channel issue, is that the channel was relying too much on the super chats rather than the views. That's why I've got to get up the subscriber count so I can, get the views to go up. There's only so much I can do in a 24-hour day, especially with being disabled and not being able to just hop in the car and, get on a plane and go anywhere I want and say, hey, look, I'm in New York City or I'm in Paris and watch me. Like, it's never going to be that type of channel here. Oh, thanks for coming back, Leanne. I appreciate everybody that contributed today and everybody that watched, and welcome my new channel members. I don't know if they're still here, the ones that got gifted. I appreciate you, and everybody just keep watching the videos. Give us a thumbs up. Go see the audio clip of me and DeJuice. It's on the video tab. You might also want to watch the arrest video of Alex. Don't know how much longer I'm going to leave that one up. Make sure, if you haven't seen the suspect video lately, go see it again. Just to kind of like, sometimes I go see it again just to kind of get refreshed on everything that's happened. Making ribs and barbecue beans. Can you send some my way, Jay? I think I'm going to go cook a turkey burger. Yep. And I don't think the Dodgers, are they playing tonight? At first I thought it was their day off, but I may be wrong about that. I hope there is a game. I think it's the Padres tonight. Woohoo! Yeah. Oh, good. I'm going to watch the Padres game tonight. The Padres and the Dodgers. Yeah. Okay, baby. I was thinking the whole day that this was their day off. And a lot of the Friday night games now, they don't air them anymore because they're like on Apple TV. So, oh, good. I can watch a Padres game. And then I'll answer some of my comments that I've been getting on the long form videos, and I'll look through some of my emails. So thanks, everybody. SR71 says, April, I watch you because you are interesting, not because of the places you go. I don't go anywhere anymore. Although as a child, I was like all over the world. Well, parts of it, not the whole world. We all want Nancy to come home. That's what I want. I mean, I appreciate the monetization. I appreciate the person, Sassy Granny, that sent me these. I'm going to be testing these later tonight as well. They're in the charger right now, so I need to test them before I go live with them. But this helps so much. Oh my God. Everybody, any way that you guys contribute is all helpful. Thank you so much. Wow, how many super chats did I don't even know how many I got. Because our first goal was 10, then my next goal was 20. And then I think I got some more. Pauline says, I too watch April because she brings trust. Wow. What a day. Truth and not gossip. No gossip here. I know, Sassy, I'm so excited. You didn't need to do this. Well, at least this time, they came to me directly to the business address, and they didn't accidentally go to New York. And then you didn't need to spend money out of pocket to send for FedEx. Like, that was totally not necessary. But I love you for it, my friend. Christmas in July for April. I know! This was one of my top things, along with the Blue Yeti. And that guy has sent me a lot, although I haven't seen him lately, and I still don't know who he is. And, you know, I can't say his name, but if he's watching, because obviously, you know, your YouTube name is not necessarily your true name. If you're watching, send me an email. At least let me know who you are. I promise I'll keep it private. You know, the guy that sent me, he sent me a lot of like gift cards for food, and he sent me this the mic, and he sent quite a bit. Like, he's one of my big contributors too, but I don't know who he is. In my chat, like most of you guys, I know who you are because you come in, but I don't know who this guy is. And obviously he's coming in, or he wouldn't know about me and he wouldn't know about the gift list. Like, who are you, man? I mean, I think he's a male based on the name that he's using, but I don't even know that for sure. I'd love to know who he is. Reach out. I'm sure Saroth is no longer here because it's like a 10-hour time difference there. So it's like the middle of the night. But Saroth, thank you, my friend. Well, I'm going to have a lot of back-end work to do today on this. But no complaints. You guys are awesome. And welcome new members. And thank you to Saroth. So he renewed his membership today, too. The gift list, that's on Amazon, but you can actually find the links. If you go, just click apparently someone told me you can click my picture. It'll take you to my main channel page, and you'll see, like, you know, my description of my channel, and then you can click the links, and you'll see everything from eBay to Whatnot. And by the way, if you're not signed up to Whatnot, sign up and get that free $25, and then you can go, you know, buy a sticker, and it won't cost you anything except the small postage. Here they are. Yeah, those finally came. And most of my credits came from the other companies or the other company. Everybody never ordered from Sticky Brand. This is from Sticker Euphoria, and I'm very pleased with them. They did a good job. But don't order from Sticky Brand because they're going to charge me postage for stuff that I never ordered. And I had to pay the postage back. So it's been a nightmare. But I have these. I have all the links, and everything's still there. Even my cancer GoFundMe, just because some people come in here and go, oh, that's not true, and that's BS, and there's nothing wrong with your heart, and you never had cancer, and, you know, no, I have all that up just so you guys can at least, you know, if you want to go read the whole sad history. I don't want to read it because I don't want to have to relive it, but that is still up too, along with the Amazon wish list, which changes regularly because as the inventory changes and different people buy different things, you know, things come off the list, things get added to the list, inventory changes. Yeah. So, but yeah, those are like, this is like equipment for my YouTube channel and some of those food cards of just everything. from the ginger beer to the food cards, to the pet supplies. You guys are bomb. You guys are great. And it's not necessary, but thank you for asking. I'm just Sassy. I love you. Hugs, my friend. I wish you were closer and we could go to lunch. Okay, everybody, I'm going to go. I'm going to make my turkey burger and I'm going to get ready to watch the Dodgers and the Padres. And then later tonight, I'll get to some of the comments on some of the other videos. Make sure you see the video on the video tab, not the live tab, but go to the video tab and see the video of me and DeJuice and throw a comment in. Tell him how much you love him. And, please go, if you go subscribe to his channel, just send him a message and say, hey, I subscribed to you because I heard about you through April Davis PI. Thank you, Sassy. You guys are my family. I know my fur babies love me and I know my Thai family loves me, but I'm basically an orphan now. So my parents are gone. There's very little family left. I got my cousins, but one lives in Oklahoma, one lives in South Carolina. They come in every now and then here. You guys probably know cousin Brenda, but she's busy. She's got kids and grandkids and things to do and places to go, and but she does watch a lot of the videos on replay. So thank you, Brenda, and thank you everybody. And if something breaks, I'll come back. But hopefully, I'm going to be able to. My mics are charging while I've been on here, so I'll be able to start doing some tests tonight. So, okay. Everybody, thank you. And I'm sorry that this one was so long. But thank you. Thank you, everybody. And nice to see you again, Sir Roth. I'll check